Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
And away we go. Welcome to show number 2,873. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, Robin Fox, and my cock. And you are in the men's room. On tap today, the random question. Question is back. Your guess is as good as mine. Categories, cereal, and entertainment. As the men's room returns, get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, a men's room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time of day.
Clack.
All right, here we go. Ty Man posts pictures of himself pretending to be dead to con family out of funeral cash. Oh, man, next year's Bronies convention will once again be held in Baltimore, and next year will be the last. Oh, it is over. Canadian van driver fired after splashing pedestrians on the street. Woman shoots husband dead because of that thing he beat, and he beat it a lot. And advertisers are now buying the extra space in your shipping box. That's all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, let's face it. It's a fact of life. Sometimes you just have to show off. Sometimes you just have to be a bit more special than everybody else. And sometimes that makes a bad situation that much more humiliating. Take the woman who decided that she just had to stream her wedding on Facebook for strangers. It wasn't like for family. She just wanted to stream her wedding. And it would have been humiliating enough that the groom never showed up, left her at the altar. But thanks for her need to stream it, thousands of people watched it live. And then people like me mentioned it on a radio show. Good times. Good times. Meanwhile, there's a vintage car enthusiast and author, and he just had to have a 1965 289 Shelby Cobra worth almost $1 million. I'll be honest with you, it is a gorgeous freaking car. But unfortunately, that's the car that a bear chose to maul in the parking lot. And I want to be clear, also in the parking lot was a 1998 Subaru Impreza missing a tire. But the bear skipped that one and went for the $1 million ride. To be fair, the guy's being a pretty good sport about it, and quite honestly, when you have that kind of money, you probably have good insurance. But actually, when it comes to car insurance, we have a story we should share with him to tell him how he can even get a better rate. But these are some of the stories that we saw recently that have led us to many, many questions. Questions we'd like to ask you in the form of the random question. And this is how it works. You call us, we will ask you a question at complete random, and after you share your answer, we will share with you the news story that inspired said question.
Be part of the big show on the random question. Call 844-999-OLA. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send those emails to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Hold the show, and away we go. Welcome to show number 2,873. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Ask the Men's Room returns. If you have a question for any of us here in the Men's Room, just shoot us an email to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. Make the subject Ask the Men's Room, and away we go. Another round of profile that's coming up. We'll drink a toast with a shot of the day. Your guess as good as mine. That is back as well. Categories today will be the updated version of the 10 most popular cereals based on sales numbers alone.
So kids cereal is my guess.
This is not a popularity contest based on what people say they like. This is what people actually buy.
So this is like the Billboard Awards, essentially.
These are exactly.
The other one was the Grammys.
10.
This is Billboard.
That is the right way to put it. Yeah, exactly.
So in other words, people buy cereal they don't like more than they buy the cereal they do like.
Yes, and you're right. That is completely a numbers game as far as that is concerned. And then the other thing that we have for you today on Your Guess Is As Good As Mine is we have the highest paid entertainers. And this list comes from the year that just was 2017. So keep in mind, every year this list changes a little bit from here to there. There's some consistent players in there without question. But for the most part, and that covers everything from, I've broken it down. We have athletes on the list, bands, actors, all kinds of people, categories. Influencers, maybe. Yeah, kind of hard to exactly.
Are the Kardashians their own category?
They are a very untitleable category.
Because you could say celebrity, but like you say, athletes or celebrities.
Okay. All right. Yes, you know what they are then. There's one Kardashian on the list. But if you pick that category, now you only have to come up with 9 more, but you got to get the right Kardashian.
But celebrity, like I said, you could be an athlete, you could be an actor, you could be a musician, you could be a singer, you could be a dancer, but we still don't know what they do.
They're entrepreneurs, I guess, right?
Entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. Is that a good way to put it?
All right, fair enough.
So, that's coming up with Your Guess Is As Good As Mine. And today is the day we do our random question. Question 844-999. Hola.
Hello, Rich. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello?
Hola. Here we go again.
Oh, liquor and whores. You were there.
Oh, thank God. Oh, man.
I was going to say, I thought you called us and you're surprised we're here.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't expect to be the first caller.
Well, hey, man, you're the big winner.
Today's your special day.
You are the winner.
You're on it.
All right.
Number one, baby, number one.
In life. Let's go with this one. All right. Do you honestly think that you get a pretty good deal on car insurance? That is your random question. Honestly, do you think you get a pretty good deal on car insurance?
I'd have to say I get a great deal on car insurance because I don't have any. So, I think I get a pretty damn good deal.
You own a vehicle?
Yes.
Are you driving it?
Yes.
And why are you doing it without insurance, man?
I knew I was asking you the right question.
It's just too expensive, man. Aflac ain't working for me. Nobody's working for me, man.
What do you mean they're not working for? What, price-wise?
Yeah, it's just some issues. And
what are some of these issues?
I mean,
what's some of the this and some of the that? And you can go to the this pile or the that pile. But
well, I got my license suspended a while back, and it's fines and stuff like that I got to take care of. But it might happen in the future. It might.
It needs to, man.
Right. Are you still driving on a suspended license?
No, it's not suspended anymore. Okay, but I have to.
He's not
pay
irresponsible
the fines and everything.
So you need to pay the fines first, and then you'll be eligible to get insurance.
Yes.
So how much money in fines do you owe?
Around 1,600, something like that.
100. Okay.
All right. That's manageable. And what were the fines for? Do you remember?
Because I got pulled over without a license.
All right. Okay. So you didn't even
see
have
a pattern with you,
so
man.
where did the license go?
Huh?
Where did the license disappear? How did you lose the license?
I just never had one.
You've never had a driver's license, but yet you had a car and you were driving?
Yes.
Was that car insured?
The car that you were driving, was it insured at the time? Did you have insurance on it?
No.
You didn't have a license. Why would he have insurance?
Now, you could still drive someone else's insured car.
Now, did you have a license plate on the car?
Yes. I had a license plate and everything. They just pulled me over for a regular traffic stop deal, and they realized I didn't have license or no insurance, and you know how it goes. Well, you probably might not know how it goes.
No. That's not how it normally goes, you see. So that's why we're asking you all,
know how it goes.
That's why we're all asking you all these.
Is this like a prank call? Is that little cartoon general going to pop in real soon and be like, I got it?
Raise on time.
Okay.
Original every time.
No.
So do they immediately, so they pull you over for a routine garden variety traffic violation, and when they realize you don't have a license and you don't have insurance, are you immediately just taken to jail?
No, actually, I was pulled over by a lady cop, and she was actually kind of nice besides how expensive the ticket was. But,
yeah, that part.
She pulled me over, but I knew a buddy, and I pulled into his driveway, and they couldn't tow the car because it was on, private property or whatnot. So, yeah.
Good for you, oh man. You got. All right. So now, how are you getting? Now, does this cause a problem as far as you getting to work and things?
Yeah, everything. Just taking care of business.
That's right. No, I hear you.
Well, listen, man.
Just like Bachman Turner Overdrive said in the song.
Every day. I don't know what it is about you, because most people would say, is this guy goddamn kidding me? But the comments are coming in. People love you. People want to start a GoFundMe.
Wait, how are you earning any kind of money right now?
This makes no sense.
Are you selling weed on the side? What are you doing?
Man, weed's too cheap to try to sell. People just go to the store, man. You can get an ounce for $50 down the street.
I hear you. That's what I'm saying. Like, how
are you selling something different?
No, nothing at all.
Okay.
I'm an upstanding citizen of the community.
We believe that.
Remember that.
Everything you've said leads us to believe that. There's no question. Okay.
Oh, I would love to be a cop just to hear people talk. That would be great.
No, nothing.
Oh, no, not a law officer. No, nothing at all. Holy cow.
Wow. You could not have asked a better person.
The reason we asked, do you think you get a good deal on car insurance? Let's head to Canada. There is a man in Alberta, Canada, who's only been identified as David, and he just changed his gender to female, but for only one reason: to save money on car insurance. Anyway, David says they found that they'd save about $840 a year on car insurance by being a woman. So they went for it. It's not that easy, though, even though you can legally change your gender in Alberta just with a doctor's note. David now has to...
Wait.
Yes. David now has to legitimately live as a woman. So at first, David bragged about the process.
So what did he do? Take a pay cut?
I am now a woman. I now pay $840 less for auto insurance. I won the end. But now that the story's getting a little traction... David's probably a little bit more worried about insurance fraud. They're saying, quote, I didn't legally change my sex solely for cheaper auto insurance, though that was and is a big factor for me.
But if they say you have to live as a woman, what would that entail?
I truly believe, like anything else.
I mean, like, what do you do? Okay, I'm going to walk into the women's bathroom now? I mean, I'm only going to get breadsticks at Olive Garden? Like, what is the litmus test? So now you must live as a woman. Like, because they don't drive cars anymore.
Who determines, like, what gender gets more money for what? Like, obviously, we all know from the job standpoint that women don't get paid as much money as men, right? So, like,
who in the
insurance industry?
Men decide that.
Yeah. So, but who in the insurance industry goes like, you know what we'll do? We'll give this one to women. And I know it's based on statistics.
Right.
It is, but like anything else, it should be just based on the individual, correct? Like if someone has a clean driving record and they always
but what
have,
they
sex
do is
doesn't really matter,
it starts with a statistic, because no one knows you from Adam. So statistically, male, female, teen, 20s, 30s, 50s, all this stuff. This is the deal we give you, because stats say you should fall roughly, right, in this window. Now, and you're right, it does become individual once you F up, right? So if there's a woman who got a better deal on insurance, crashes a car 3 times in 1 year, her deal doesn't seem as good anymore. So when you first sign on for insurance, it's the same thing with medical insurance, right? You're a statistic. That's why we need your age. Do you smoke? Do you not smoke? Okay. How much do you drink, et cetera, et cetera. Now you're a statistic. Go to the hospital 3 times, but you have not had an accident. Your insurance goes through the roof, right? Somebody hits you with a hammer, they pay it. They don't necessarily raise your rates. So you start as a statistic, and then
it goes from there.
And then from there, you build your own algorithm.
Okay.
Right, like my insurance was expensive when I was a teenager, as I had bad grades.
Statistically, right.
But then there was that magic number, like when you were 25 or something. I can't remember what it was.
It's supposed to go down.
Yeah, and then there's another number somewhere along the way where if you get married or something, there's a couple other weird things like, why is my insurance going down? You're like, oh, that
don't we do that with everything?
That doesn't make any sense, because now I'm more prone to drive away pissed off fast in the middle of the night.
But it does, because we do it like legally you're an adult at 18, but you can't smoke until you're 21. You can't run for president until you're 35. And according to AARP, you're not old till you're 55.
Mm-hmm. But they'll still give you the magazine at 50.
Well, they give you the magazine at
50, you're in.
So wait a minute.
You're in AARP, you're in at 50, right, Ted?
Yeah. They got me early.
It's 50. It's 50.
How many years have they been sending you like, hey, man, join AARP?
the last 7 or 8.
7 or 8. All right, so when you're about 29 is when they start.
Yeah, they start hitting me up.
Have you tried to join? Like, look, I'm 29, but you asked me.
Well, I will say, ARP has a good recruiting strategy. They got to me early.
Because of this,
You know more about it than
Are you
you
more?
would.
I do know about
Are you
ARP.
more prone to join, or are you more? Okay, all right. Okay,
I'm like an athlete
Or are you
that's
gonna be
been
like, F
recruited.
you, you know?
So, you know,
Hell, you guys.
I'm going to declare for ARP at 50.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a verbal, but, you know, when I get
Right.
close to 50, I'll sign.
Okay, fair enough. And this is not a joke. If I have questions about AARP, I ask Ted. Hello, Juan.
I should go to the get-together.
I know, man.
Hello, hola bicholas. How you guys doing?
Hola. How are you, Juan?
I'm here enjoying life.
Okay, let's see here. What would be a good question for Juan? All right, here's one. I bet you don't know anything about this. Juan, who would you say busted you with pornography? Who busted you, Juan, with pornography?
My wife. That's why she's laughing.
Yeah. Once I heard her laugh, I knew the answer.
How many times has she busted you with pornography?
Every damn morning.
Every morning.
Every morning.
Every morning.
All right.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, is she busting you at that point? Like, if that's just part of your routine, which obviously I'm guessing it is.
Or Twitter.
Twitter.
All right, Twitter's killing
I
you,
was to say, Juan doesn't really hide it, so I don't know if that counts as getting busted.
Right.
But I do like your color commentary on a lot of those pictures, Juan. Now, what does your wife say to you when she sees that you're busted? Is she more like, "Oh, Juan, you've done it again," or is this kind of like, does she get
No,
mad?
she just says none for you tonight.
Oh no! So based on that, all right.
Well, if you have that, what did you want me for?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You have a good point there, Mrs. Juan.
Don't be a fool, Juan. I just heard what you
Yeah,
said.
you got to skip a day or two, man. That way she doesn't get mad at you.
Yeah, good
She
Lord.
just charges me extra.
That's not going to help you tonight.
If you didn't hear her, she said, wait, I'm a hooker now?
Yes. The reason we asked the question, who busted you with porn? An Arkansas woman was arrested after telling police she shot and killed her husband because he bought pornography. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office said in a news release it received a call at 2:30 p.m. from 69-year-old Patricia Hill, who told dispatchers she had just shot her 65-year-old husband, Frank. The highly trained technicians, oh, Jesus Christ. When police arrived at the home, located about 36 miles south of Little Rock, they found Frank Hill dead in a shed on the property.
Dead in the shed on the property.
He sustained 2 gunshot wounds to the upper and lower body. Sheriff's office said during an interview with Hill, she told investigators she arrived home and went to the shed on her property to confront her husband. But
Spank shed.
there had never been any physical altercations ever between the couple. However, Mrs. Hill stated that she disagreed with her husband's purchase of video pornography via the television guide, which she canceled upon discovering the purchase. But Mr. Hill managed to place a subsequent order. Mrs. Hill stated
That's
that
old
she...
school. He's ordering porn off the cable
I
box.
like this kid.
She said she stated she entered the shed and asked her husband to leave, but he refused. When her husband did not leave the shed, Hill told investigators she went back to their home and got her .22 caliber pistol. She went back to the shed a short time later, where she entered and shot him twice, striking him once in the leg and once in the head.
Oh.
Immediately following the shooting, Mrs. Hill stated that she returned inside the residence, where she returned the weapon and called 911 to report that she'd shot him. At this point, police investigators do not believe the incident had anything to do with self-defense. It was strictly because her husband was renting the pornography.
Didn't she basically say that?
Yeah.
It's not self-defense. He had his penis in his hand. I told him to stop. He didn't. I shot him. I called
Do
you.
you think she was more angered about the cost of those purchases? Because don't they tend to be a little bit
Yeah,
more?
Miles.
Aren't they the
That's what she was
$6.99?
upset about.
$7.99.
It was
right?
about the cost.
Or
She
$6.99,
shot him
right.
dead, not because he's in there spelunky and the monkey, but because we don't have $7 to spend.
Yeah, and like, what was his excuse? Like, I'm not leaving the whacking shed.
Right. And he's in a shed.
Right, he's in a shed by
If he was
himself.
in the living room, maybe.
The whacking
I mean,
shed.
Right? Like,
He's got his own shed to
He's
whack
got
in.
his shed.
He does.
Like, I think he may have gone a little too far with this.
Hey, he leaves the house.
You the 2 boys been whacking in my shed?
That's my shed.
Random question 844-999. Ola, more your calls on the way. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Your guess is as good as mine. Coming up, the categories is cereal and entertainment. We'll do your guess is as good as mine right after a little random question. Question 844-999.
Random.
Hello,
random,
Max.
random,
Welcome
random,
to the men's room.
Random.
What's going on, guys?
Hola.
All right, Max, welcome to the show. Random question. Let's see what we got here.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Max, this doesn't necessarily have to be about you, but it can be about you. Who do you know with a weird superstition or conspiracy theorist type thing, you know? A lot of baseball players I know have some weird juju going on.
I think every baseball player on some level.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Some people think the earth is flat.
Yeah.
But use their GPS to drive to a place to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the little ironies of life that I always find entertaining.
So who do you know has got a weird superstition or conspiracy theory?
I don't know if it's a conspiracy or something like that, but my buddy, I have a friend who he just is so set on that he thinks he can beat up Mighty Mouse. It's a UFC fighter because he's because he's short and small. So
you mean pound for pound, the probably the best and biggest champion that's ever been in the UFC as far as his
top
record?
of the pound for pound list all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is he convinced that he could take him?
I don't know. Every time we end up getting drunk and hanging out, it just comes up. He just says, "I will beat his A." You know.
All right, now your buddy. Describe him physically. Like, what does he look like?
Okay. Well, he's not the smallest guy. He's pretty, he's stacked. He's kind of like hillbilly big is the term.
I got you.
So,
you can't really
yeah.
define any muscles, but you know they're there under that soft, doughy coating.
Yeah, you can tell he works out, but you can also tell he doesn't say no to going out to eat or ice cream.
All right.
Does he have any skill set in a cage? Like, can he fight?
Oh no, definitely not.
All right. Okay.
No.
So is he the guy?
Is
he the guy that watches the Olympics and thinks I could do that?
Yeah, no, he thinks he can win.
All right,
okay. But I mean, he understands like Mighty Mouse is trained. One of the big differences between people that fight professionally and even like a good fighter on the street. Remember Kimbo Slice beat anyone's ass, until he fought professionally, and it turns out there's this big learning curve between being the toughest dude on the street and the toughest guy in the ring. But your buddy's convinced he could take him, huh?
Yeah, he's set, and we've showed him videos, and we've seen him online and everything, and man, there's nothing we can say. He's so convinced. He says, "Man, if I ever see that guy, I'm dropping him."
Well, I hope to God that the Mighty Mouse doesn't have to live his life around people like that.
No,
just based on
God.
okay.
I was going to say, Mighty Mouse lives around here.
I know, man. Like,
you might have.
We know the guy.
He might have that opportunity,
and he's very nice.
We could
super nice.
Yeah.
We might be able to set that up for your friend.
All right, that's
in the parking lot of an IHOP.
We would not do that to your friend. Listen, sometimes I think it's better. I think it's better to let your friend believe this than it would be to actually arrange this and have all this damage done
I think
to
your
him.
friend has a better chance of knocking out the cartoon Mighty Mouse.
Right. Sure. Yeah. He could probably beat us up, too. But I would doubt Mighty Mouse, man. Right.
Reason we asked, who do you know with a weird superstition or conspiracy
Said
theory?
he's country strong.
I know.
Country
strong.
Man,
country.
Jim Harbaugh is the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, and he loves some red meat. He loves it. And he doesn't want his quarterbacks apparently eating chicken. For a baffling reason, this comes off of Deadspin.com. Could be a little Bleacher Report. I'm not sure with those two sometimes if they're just playing off of each other. Former Michigan and current UCLA quarterback Wilton Spite tells a story to sum up nicely about Jim Harbaugh and his thoughts about chicken and meat. Early in his Michigan tenure, Harbaugh pulled Spate aside and told him not to eat chicken, a protein considered fairly safe by nutritionists, When asked why, Harbaugh said, because it's a nervous bird. He thinks some type of sickness injected its way into human population when people began eating white meats instead of beef and pork. And he believes that to be 100% true.
That does not surprise me coming from him.
There you go.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.